For the next category, I will be doing best moment. And this one comes from, I'm not sure if you saw this film last year. It was released on Netflix called The Devil All the Time, starring Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
I will preface this by saying this is a miserable movie. It's a great movie, but very Winter's Bone-ish.
Okay.
It's like that.
Just, yeah,
where
people
there's someone whose life is never good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like his father's life was bad, and then it leads into his life being bad, and it's just miserable. The only slight bit of happy he has kills herself, and I'm gonna just talk about the fucking movie.
Okay.
So Tom Holland's sister meets this new preacher in town. He's like a real slick preacher, played by Robert Pattinson. He starts sleeping with her. He's sleeping with multiple young girls. And his sister, Tom Holland's sister, is like, hey, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just like, okay, I can't acknowledge that. That's going to ruin my reputation.
Yeah.
So she ends up killing herself. And Tom Holland finds him in church alone to talk to him. He's not revealing who he is at first.
Yeah.
And then he finally does, and just has this old-ass pistol just aimed at him the whole time. And he's just trying to calm him down, like, oh, you don't want to do this? You know this will ruin my reputation if I had acknowledged that. Your sister was crazy. There was something wrong with her. Like, he's just trying to use all of his power of persuasion to stop him. And he shoots him, but it's an old raggedy gun.
Mm-hmm.
So the first shot just hurts him. And he's trying to kill him, but the gun's jammed. You're just like, fuck. It reminds me of not as powerful, but it reminds me of the scene from There Will Be Blood. The I've abandoned my boy scene.
Yeah.
Where it just gets more and more intense.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. So for me, out of the different TV shows I watched where there was like, holy shit, and crazy things happening, the most just like, this is going to be so bad. Like, this is going to end so terribly. Is the church scene from The Devil All the Time. I love that movie. And that's not even the end of the movie. It's not like this is like that happens and then the credits start rolling. No, that's just a part of all the crazy shit that happens in that film.
I have a similar scene now that since you brought it up that was just as intense. I watched I May Destroy You on HBO.
Yeah. Which
was such a weird show. Like we talked about it, that show and Insecure just seemed to be about really unlikable women who keep, I don't know. In this case, in I May Destroy You, she finds herself in a really messed up, like just really messed up situation. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, this particular scene, her and her friends confront the person who assaulted her. It just turns into this mad scene. It was just like, what the heck? And it kept on. This is spoiler, by the way.
Spoil it.
I totally don't listen to this. Pause and watch this episode. Or watch the show. But they confront the person who assaulted her, and the weird thing is that it's one of those scenes where the person imagines what's happening. So her character, the main character, imagines what she's doing to this guy, and then it just rewinds back to the moment when she can make a different choice. And that for me was really intense because it went off the rails. At this point, this show was crazy to me. I just don't understand this whole, I was like, maybe I'm getting old, but I don't understand people just having sex and just being truly irresponsible in this day and age. I'm trying to think about it as a 20-year-old or somebody in my 20s. I was like, yeah, I was stupid. I was dumb in my 20s. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't judge these people. But I was like, man, if I had the amount of information, not only did they have the amount of information of all the crazy bad crap that can happen to you from being loose,
That's how I felt watching Insecure.
Yeah. That's why I think of, whenever I think of I May Destroy You and this person, that's one of the reasons why I relate it back to Insecure, is because people are so, it's not even morally sleeping around.
No, they just slang it around.
Yeah, it's I'm thinking of your health. I'm thinking of these people's health. Like, oh my gosh, they're just, like, think of the actual contact and
it was so
bodily
much.
fluids.
It was so much
that get exchanged and oh my gosh, it's too much for me. I don't get it. So setting that aside, her mentality to me is completely different. Like, I was like, I can't relate to that side of her, and she was just really rude and inconsiderate of the people who stood by and supported her. Again, another reason it relates back to Insecure. But so in that moment, she is there with the person who assaulted her. She has these people around her who have supported her, and like the moment is intense. The colors are like jewel tones, so it's like super intense coloring of the film. And you just get a full sense of intensity and madness at the same time, because it's like, I can't relate to this crazy person, and like it's nuts. It's nuts. So it's not a best moment, but it's a certainly notable moment that stands out for me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it totally does.
Okay.